Like I said before, though, I'm not a huge advocate of bluffing. I really think that it doesn't have a huge spot in the game, and I think you need to be really careful at pulling it off. It's almost like the most advanced thing to do in poker, because it's very difficult to get people to fold in short stack MTT low buy-in tournaments. A lot of people don't care about $20. They don't care about $15. It gets easier as the tournament goes on, and part of the reason it gets easier is because the money becomes more than $15 a lot of times later in the tournament. The bigger the money on the line, the more you can get away with. The tighter people play, the more likely they fold, the more worried they get about their stack, and a lot of times they're just trying to conserve their way through to get to the end. And so it gives you an advantage if you're not afraid of all those things to take advantage of them. However, again, you're still faced with the same criteria. And so I'm going to just kind of quickly review, because I talked to some of them about some of these in the last scenario, in the last video. But pick your spot sparingly. Again, it should almost read "don't do it," But I don't recommend doing this often. Be very careful how you do it. I thought, like I mentioned in the last video, people are going to do it anyways. So I think it makes a lot of sense to explain how to do it when you're going to do it. Again, the last point I tried to make before, and I won't go into it as deeply, but tell a story that's convincing only to those that can understand the story. So you're picking players to bluff that it's just not going to make any sense to them. It's the wrong person. You really want to pick players who are going to be afraid, who are going to try to hand read a bit and see your hand and figure out what you have. The third thing is be willing to fail. So you need to be willing to fail sometimes, because it's not always going to work. And so you can't try something new and you feel the right spot. Someone actually told me once, it had nothing to do with poker. It was way before I started playing poker. But you have to cross the line sometimes to find out where it is. And it's the most telling, one of the most telling statements that's stuck with me for years, in my business life and everything. But you need to know what your parameters are. What are the things you can get away with by crossing the line sometimes. And once you cross the line and you step over the cliff, you realize, whoa, I can't go there. I got to be really careful. So with these kinds of bets, it really makes sense to do it at multiple scenarios, but you have to have the type of personality where you're going to remember from one spot to another. So, if you can't remember one thing to another, then don't bother, because it's not going to help. And, the last thing is preferably have outs. So, it's not always possible. Sometimes, the board runs out, you don't have outs or whatever, but sometimes you want to have a backdoor because you're going to get called sometimes, and you really need to be careful when you get called. Typically, your bets are designed not to get called. Your bets are designed to get shipped on or folds, and hopefully you're getting folds way more than you're getting shipped on.